Hello, I am Alex, and welcome back to I Try to Teach You Useless Skills in Skyblock. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to solo Master Mode Floor 1. So recently Berserker has gotten a buff, Weapon Master. Basically, if you swing on the floor with a sword, everything around you dies, which has meant that Berserker is incredibly good for clearing, third only to Terminator clearing and Hyperion. And yeah, I'm going to be teaching you how to solo Master Mode Floor 1 with the new Berserker buffs. So the setup I use is full Necron and Maxor boots. I do use a Necron helmet and not the golden Bonzo head because the golden Bonzo head sucks. I use a giant sword, but this could be replaced by a Shadow Fury or maybe a Livid Dagger. I'll test that later in the video. Baby Yeti just for living. Utility stuff, obviously AOTV. Some kind of healing is really handy in the boss. Bonzo staff is kind of necessary for bomb defuse. Update, bomb defuse is not in Master Mode Floor 1, so don't worry about Bonzo staff. Any short bow, or bow in general, to do the blaze puzzle. Stonk for bomb defuse as well. Again, bomb defuse isn't in M1, but Stonk is actually useful for other puzzle rooms, like the tic-tac-toe room, stonking through the wall to get the bonus secret. And an ice spray is nice to have, but it's actually really not necessary. Again, wrong here. Ice spray is pretty necessary in M1. My stats currently, I'm combat 43. I am kata 29 right now. Berserker 27. My talismans are on Silky, so bear in mind your stats compared to my stats when you're doing this. Okay, so we're in the dungeon. I'm first going to show you how to clear with the new Berserker ability. Mining the ground, because each time you actually swing at the ground counts as a swing for the ability, and you do 100% of the damage when you're swinging at the ground as you would if you're just hitting the enemy normally. Bear in mind that the enemies do have to be just generally in front of you, not directly in front of you, but somewhere in front of you. You can't really swing behind you, so keep that in mind. But for the first part of the M1 run, you just want to be clearing. Just normal blood rush. Get the blood room open as soon as possible. After you've done this a while, you'll learn the room layouts. There's the blood room open, and then once you've opened the blood room, you just want to do all the other rooms. I would very much recommend solvers. Only mandatory use for an ice spray is kind of the mini bosses, because they don't really take that much damage. As you can see, 2 ice sprays seem to have killed that guy pretty well. Without the ice sprays, it's kind of painful. Okay, so this is a use for the stonk. So with this, like, mining through is kind of annoying, so you want to go to a different slot and then hotkey to your stonk and then hit really quickly, and then you can just really easily do that. The blood room is really easy as a berserker. You just want to circle around the blood mobs and hit the floor, and wham bam boom, it's done. The boss fight is where you can die very, very easily. But all you want to do, you want to have the most health as you can. So this is also another use for the ice spray, keeping Bonzo still. The undead they spawn do a lot of damage and have a stupid amount of health. I wouldn't recommend caring about them. You can even like ignore them and just go for Bonzo. And then if you're just running away all the time, then you're creating space and not getting hit by them all the time. But from my experience, they don't really do much damage. And when Bonzo's on these pillars, you can just hit him off. Or like hit the side of the pillars, like the grey bit, and hit him off. In this in-between phase, you have a bit of a chance to kill all the undead. Also for this phase, you can't hold down, click on the floor, you have to actually click, but that doesn't really do anything. When Bonzo's in this kind of phase, you basically get 2-tapped by any of the balloons, so definitely stay behind one of the pillars, and yeah, don't try and like peek out and use a bow or anything to shoot them, because you are just risking the run. I would recommend being 3 blocks out from these pillars here, so you're not on the diagonal. If you don't hit him for a while, he will start regenning, so make sure that you go in pretty quickly after he's stopped using his balloon ability. And you just ice spray him, beam him down, and that's it. 6-minute run, pretty easy. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the M1 XP rates are a bit more than floor 7. F7 gives a lot more than M1, but it is easier to do M1 solo than F7, which means if you don't have friends, it's probably easier to get XP this way. It's certainly significantly quicker and easier to do, and that's a recom. That's pretty good. So I understand that the giant sword is a little bit expensive, so I've prepared 2 other weapons I'm going to test and see how good they are in terms of solo clearing M1. Those 2 weapons being the Juju shortbow and this liver dagger that I found on the AH for like 14 mil. We're gonna do Juju as an archer and liver dagger as a bers. Immediately I'm noticing I think I have less defense from the Baby Yeti. So far, this is definitely slower than bers, but the damage is quite respectable. Okay, here's a mini boss room. Because the Juju is cheaper than the giant sword, I think it's basically necessary that you have an ice spray with the Juju. Yeah, the damage is definitely less than the giant sword as a bers, but still respectable, still able to clear things. Normal minis seem to go down just fine. Right, let's see how painful blood is. I'm going to use the ult here. Try and ice spray all of them. I mean, if I can be bothered, I'll put a side-by-side comparison of how fast it is to clear blood for the different classes, but that was noticeably slower and a lot more mentally engaging. I haven't actually tried Bonzo with a Juju yet, so let's see how this goes. Unfortunately, we are going to have to be forced to clear these guys with Bonzo chasing us as well, which this might be how it ends, yeah. Just not enough damage, really. Can show you if a 1-for-all liver dagger will do the job. Okay, this is the real test to see if it's better than Juju. Don't use a 1-for-all liver dagger. Alright, I'll see you later.